The Fargone Podcast, presented by This Is Coffee. Premium instant coffee meant to be enjoyed outside. Get yours at thisiscoffee.ca. Alrighty, well, another episode of the Fargone Podcast, and to all the listeners out there, I am sorry for the delay. Boys have been busy. Long story short, obviously, like we've chatted about, Matt's got a new clinic that he's working on out in Kelowna. So if you're in ever need of chiropractic work, be sure to hit him up. But he's busy on the renovations and everything like that. And then Reese is in full ski mode still. So obviously after the Olympics, he's been doing everything like that. And I believe he's still in Europe. So we apologize for the delay, but we're back. And today we got a familiar face here, Mr. Trevor Carlson, man. Thanks for jumping on.
Hey, anytime, man. I'm happy to be here.
Dude, heck yeah. So how have things been lately? What have you been up to? I feel like looking on your Instagram and stuff, you got a couple new bows, couple things like
Yeah.
that you've been shooting around, working around the property. What's been new and exciting lately?
Yeah, no, we took a big vacation to Hawaii with the whole fam. Had both
So sick.
sets of grandparents with us. So that was fun. And I actually got out hunting one of those days. So
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. Pretty
Dude,
cool. It
well,
was
tell
like
me, what is hunting in Hawaii like?
well, like I said, I only did one day and it was
Yeah.
kind of a last minute thing. My wife was bugging me. She was like, "Hey, if you don't bring your bow, you're gonna regret it, even if you get out for one day."
Yeah.
And after a long hunting season, I try not to like impede on a family trip, even though we don't, especially
Mhm.
because we don't do like tropical type vacations very often, once every
Yeah.
few 5, 6 years kind of thing. So yeah, she was like, "Bring it, and if you hunt, you do then cool. If you don't, then whatever." But so
Yeah.
I did, and then I had a little bit of a runaround trying to figure out my license and all
Mm.
that. So
What does that
they
whole process looks like? Like, what does it look like for like an out of state, I guess, resident to hunt in Hawaii?
yeah, I think out of state, you just buy a license as long as you
Yeah.
have your hunter education. And then as far
Mm.
as being like a Canadian,
Yeah.
you can send all your license information over, and they'll do what they call an exemption.
Okay.
So you get like I think it's called, yeah, I think it's just called a hunter's exemption or something like
Yeah.
that. And yeah, it took a little while, but I actually emailed directly with the Department of whatever it is. I can't
Fish
remember
and
now.
wildlife or something
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that.
Yeah.
And they were really quick to get back to me, got me my license in like a day.
Nice.
And yeah, but the thing was, I didn't really look at the dates too well. And
Yeah.
the day after we left was when all the good units opened up. So the
Oh,
only
shoot.
thing accessible to me was this like shot out, super dry area that like I
Mm.
guess the I talked to a guy who said the military does training in there, and that
Okay.
sometimes they fly over in helicopters and just like decimate everything that's in there. So I did get on 3 or 4 really big Spanish goats, and
Sweet.
I got really excited because they were at one point I was 80 yards from them,
No
and
way.
I just needed them to hop a fence because they were on
Yeah.
the military property, and
Mm.
no dice. They either hop the fence or go under it. I talked to some guys who said both,
Yeah.
but it was really cool. I can't wait to go back and do it again, and maybe do a longer trip and leave like 4 or 5 days of hunting.
Yeah.
Would be good to schedule that out. And it's something I want to do more is hunt in the States.
Yeah.
I did in 2018. I went to Arizona, where my wife's from,
Cool.
back when you could just buy a deer tag in
Yeah.
December.
Mm.
And now you can, but you have to be within the first 2,500 people or something.
Okay.
So every year it's like right around the oh no, it's not. I don't think it's around the time change, but either way, I and now they limit the tags, so you have to be up in the morning and like be on the internet, and like as soon as
Yeah.
it goes, like hit the button to get your tag, right? And I
Yeah.
forget every
Exactly.
year. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You're like, I keep
Yeah.
setting the reminder, but I keep hitting snooze on it for some reason.
Yeah, yeah, but that was fun way back, yeah, 2018, and, I got on some Coues deer, and
Cool.
I didn't see any mule deer, and I saw a
Yeah.
ton of elk. You couldn't hunt an
Mm.
elk at that time, but, that's another hunt I wanna do again, is Arizona, and then maybe,
Yeah.
like I got a cousin in Montana, so
Cool.
he wants to do some hunting, so I might have to take him up on that and go with him.
Dude,
But
jumping
yeah,
on into the States, man. Whole new world.
yeah, yeah, I think it'd be fun, just kinda experience mainly honestly, mainly for elk hunting would be
Yeah.
cool, just because I feel like you hear about it so much, and you see the numbers, like,
Yeah.
of how many elk are in the States, versus how many elk are in BC or Canada.
Yeah.
I think it said in Canada there's like 70,000 elk, and
Okay.
in the States
In
there's
all
over
of
a million.
Canada.
That's what the internet says. I don't know if
Okay.
that's accurate
Yeah.
or not. Maybe
I'm gonna have
that's
to chat
BC.
ask AI about that one.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
seems
no,
that
but it
seems like like I would imagine like a couple 100,000, like at
yeah,
least.
yeah, either way, there's over a
Yeah.
million elk in the States, and
No way.
yeah. So,
No
yeah,
way, dude.
I think Idaho has, like, 250,000 elk, and that
Hmm.
look at the size of Idaho compared to BC,
Yeah. Oh my
so,
gosh, dude.
yeah, we're lacking in the ungulate department as far as the elk and deer go, but
Yeah.
yeah, we got
That's
back from
crazy.
whole
That's a huge freaking difference, eh?
it is, yeah, it's nuts.
But
It's pretty
I wonder what the statistics are in the amount of hunters out there as well too. Because
definitely
every time
more. Yeah.
hear about, like, hunting in the States and crap, it's like, "Oh, you got guys just everywhere," and it's like everywhere you're glassing up, like, 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah,
that's the
I would
case, but that's just what I've heard from a couple buddies.
yeah, in Arizona, the 2 days I went or 3 days
Yeah.
that I went, I saw at least 10 people every day.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
wild.
yeah, but
Crazy.
yeah, Hawaii was fun, and then we got
Yep.
home and everybody was sick, so my whole family was sick for, like, another week and a half, so
Yeah,
they missed almost all their school, like, my kids missed all their school until
yeah.
spring break, and now they've been off on spring break, and we had a bunch of friends over for, like, a week, and
Hmm.
it's just been kinda chaos around here, but in the meantime, I have been shooting my new bow and getting it all set up and dialed in.
Yeah.
I'm kind of at a crossroads right now trying to figure out what arrow I wanna shoot.
Okay.
I think yeah, I've got the Easton 5.0s built
Yeah.
up, and I've got the Victory HLRs,
Okay.
Easton Axis, and
Yeah.
some Day 6 HDs, which are I
Mm.
bought for my trad bow, and I
Yeah.
bought them in the spine for my recurve or for my compound bow, so
Yeah.
250 spine, but, I built them up as trad arrows, so we'll
Yeah.
see. I can always cut them down and make them into my
What
compound
do you
arrows and
think
trad
about
bows.
those day 6 arrows? I've been, shooting them for the last year now. The XDs, I believe, which is like the 5 mil,
Yeah,
right?
the lighter
Yeah,
one. They're both
exactly.
5 mil and
Yeah,
yeah, the XDs are lighter and the HDs are the heavier.
yeah. So
Um,
I've been
I
shooting the XDs, and I've really enjoyed them. Like, I've been having a great time with them. But what's
they're
kinda
one of
your
the
experience been?
yeah, they're one of the toughest arrows, right? And
Yeah,
I shot them quite a while back, probably like 6 years ago,
yeah.
and I think they only had the HDs then, or
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they only had the HDs then, so
Mhm.
I mean, I like my arrow to be right around 500 grains, but with my
Yeah.
spine and the point weight that I was running, they were, like, closer to, like they were up over 600 grains.
Oh, wow. A little
So,
heavier, eh?
that's a little heavy even shooting 80 plus pounds. Like, right now, I
Yeah.
actually have my bow, I've got it set at 90 pounds, so it
Wow.
doesn't Matthews
On
doesn't
that
come with
arc.
it. Yeah, they don't come with a
Yeah,
90-pound mod, but you
yeah,
can add some twist to your cables, get
yeah.
that poundage down. It does change the draw length a little bit,
Mhm.
but Matthews bows run a little long in their draw
They do.
lengths, like almost a quarter inch. So
I
it
know.
actually kind of brings it in a little bit for me,
Oh, nice. You're like, "This
which
is
is nice.
proper."
It's like a
Yeah.
true 29 and a half. So
Huh, that's awesome.
yeah,
Have you
yeah.
I saw on your Instagram the other day, were you shooting one of those primes too? I feel like we
My
chatted about that last time that we were up there, or last
so
time that
my
we were chatting on the pod.
yeah, my brother
Yeah,
is he hasn't owned a compound bow in 6 years, and
okay.
he was like a hardcore prime guy. So he bought a
Yeah,
compound bow again and ended
yeah,
up buying the new Prime Divide, I think it's called.
yeah. I don't
And,
remember the name on it.
yeah, it's kinda
Yeah.
that funky looking thing with the carbon posts in the middle
Mhm.
of the riser. It's a sweet bow. It looks better in person than in pictures, and
Okay.
it shoots really good, tunes out
Yeah.
pretty good too, and he's a big guy, so he's got a 31.5 inch draw length,
Oh, wow, yeah.
and he's shooting 80 pounds. He probably should be shooting, like, 75 and, like, get his
Yeah,
shoulder warmed up, but I
exactly.
when he came over to set it up, he probably had shot, like, 2 or 300 arrows while he was here, and
Yeah.
he was dead by the end of that. He was like, "Okay, I gotta go home."
Can barely pull the thing off of it after, just
Yeah, yeah, but he's been shooting it more now, and he's his compound bow muscles worked back up because I think his
Exactly.
recurve bow is only, like, 50 pounds. I know you're, like, holding the whole weight at the back, but
Yeah,
it's a lot different,
crazy.
and
Yeah.
getting used to shooting a compound again from a recurve, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that draw length was a little different, but did you fling any arrows through that prime? Like, I haven't chatted with
Yeah.
anyone who shot it. So
Yeah, I
I'm
did.
like really interested to like hear like the proper like real world experience of being like obviously it's not your bow, it's not set up for you, but like what was kind of your some of your initial thoughts on it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Was there things you liked about it, things you disliked about it?
Yeah, so I'll go back to, like, again, 2018, I had a Prime Logic, and that was
Okay.
I still to this day have not shot as good as I have with that bow.
Hmm.
That was,
Okay.
like, the best bow for me. I
Yeah.
think a lot of it is the stability of those bows. They have their grip in the center of the riser, where most
Mhm.
bows have their like, the burger hole for the rest is in the center and
Yeah.
the grip is below. So a lot of the like, the weight of the bow, on the Prime is below the
Yeah.
grip, which keeps it upright. Like,
Mhm.
not it's a lot harder to camp, and
Yeah.
his bow's a 35-inch axle to axle, so
Yeah.
it was just probably the most stable bow I've shot, even though it was
Wow.
a full 2 inches over my draw length. It was
Yeah.
like it's hard to feel the draw cycle when it's
Mm.
that much longer than your draw length, because like, getting it
Yeah.
up over that back the into the
Exactly.
back feels a lot harder because 'cause I'm at the end of my draw length, and I still
Yeah.
gotta go more,
Yeah.
but it very stable shooting bow, easy to
Mm.
tune, so, yeah,
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Yeah, like I
yeah,
said, they look crazy. So,
yeah,
yeah, anything you
yeah, it's
disliked
wild.
about shooting it or what? Besides the
Um,
draw length?
the grip, I don't like the grip, it's too wide.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me torque the bow quite a bit. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, something about my hand, but when I have a fatter grip, it, like, makes
Yeah.
me torque more, so I'd like
Mm.
a little like, with my Matthews, I went back to shooting just off the riser, so I put the
Yeah.
side plates on and some tape around the side plates, and
Yeah.
it just settles in your hand really nice, so, yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. My first bow is actually a prime, but I haven't
nice.
shot one since, so
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, it's a good one, I think they've come a long way, so the older ones that had the dual cam, they were pretty loud,
yeah,
and, but, I
that's the
mean,
one I had was like the Centnoid or whatever it was,
yeah,
Centroid or whatever.
yes, yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but
Yeah.
the only thing with the dual cam, yeah, it's, like, heavier and it's loud, but it is you can't torque it, like, you can't
Yeah.
torque it side to side, it's just straight down the middle.
Locked in.
Yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
why I shot it so good, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I do remember having a lot of rollover issues though with the dual cam for some reason. Like I
Hmm,
had like my string popped off like 3 or 4 times and it wasn't from like doing anything stupid.
that's
Um,
weird.
yeah, it
Maybe
was
their draw
super
maybe
weird.
the draw stops were, like, not in the right
Yeah,
spot or they, like I know on
yeah,
those bows because it was, like, the draw stop had a screw that went through and it
yeah.
kinda, like, would slide around.
Mhm.
Sometimes they'd come loose, maybe it, like, came a
Yeah,
little loose and pulled off, but who knows?
I know. I kept bringing it in. I brought it in like 3 or 4 times because it kept happening. And then the guys are like, "Yeah, your cams only have one more rollover." And that's kinda like when I was like, "All right, so don't know what this looks like, but
Yeah, yeah. No,
one
bows have
more in
come a
'em."
long way. Yeah.
They
Yeah, bows
definitely have.
yeah, it's pretty crazy, even in the last 5 years, I'd say, like, you can't go wrong with, pretty much any of them.
I know, it's unreal, and even too, like and I know a lot of bows are coming out with it, but it's great how much simpler it is to work on a bow now. Like, oh, dude, like, even that like, I'm still shooting that Lift X right now and, like, having that little tuning feature that I know that Hoyt just came out with and a lot of other bows kinda have now, but I remember chatting with you, like, before my elk hunt last year and being like, "Dude, I don't know what to do, like, I'm way off. Like I got to paper tune this thing, but I don't have a press. I don't have any of this stuff. And you're like, dude, just like freaking use a little tuning key and it'll freaking work out great. And I'm like an idiot when it comes to that stuff. And I somehow figured it out, dude. And I felt like a freaking bow tech. It was awesome. So it's like, and the fact that like everything is having like those little like tunability features in them now is really incredible. Like, especially the last couple of years, having that feels like a bit of a game changer where it's like, dude, an idiot like me is able to paper tune his bow now and like make sure it's dialed. And I don't have a bow press. I don't have anything like that either. But it's like the fact that you can just do that. And then even Matthews with like their whatever that like stay afield system or something. Like I've had to like put peeps in or something like that, just using that little thing too, right? So the tunability, especially in the last couple of years for bows is really sweet that like kind of Joe Schmo can now do it without a bow press or anything like that, right? So yeah, dude. So we're chatting about the old arc there. And you're talking about a whitetail setup.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I want to definitely, even if I don't get the arc 30, I'll
Yeah.
still build a really fast whitetail arrow because
Yeah.
it would help. That's part of why, I won't say all of why I missed that buck this last year, but
Yeah.
it's definitely part of it because he ducked. But
Yeah.
don't shoot at a jumpy whitetail at 40 yards. That's not a good idea.
Yeah.
It's not
Exactly.
good. Yeah.
Dude, well, speaking of whitetail hunting, man, we just actually had our film come out with you guys. That was a lot of fun this trip,
Yeah,
man.
that was cool. It
So,
was cool to see what you and Zach were able to come up with, like, not a lot of footage, like, because
yeah,
whitetail hunt's hard to get. If you have a slow day, you're not really filming much, but, like,
just sitting
show
there.
yeah, but showing the camp stuff and going to and from the stands, setting up stands, all that, like, it's cool to see. It's funny, we were talking to the Borderland boys on our podcast and
Cool.
about whitetail films on YouTube and how, like, a BC whitetail hunt on YouTube is, like, the worst performing video
Yeah.
ever, like,
Yeah.
I finally found some of my old footage from my 2023 buck, which is
Okay.
like a 160-inch buck.
Yeah.
I didn't score him, but
Yeah.
he's a big buck,
Yeah.
and
We're
I
claiming it 160.
yeah, sure, here we go. But, like, maybe 155, but still a
Yeah.
big whitetail, my biggest whitetail, and I was like, I made a quick little video, like a 6-minute video, just to,
Yeah.
like, show people. I thought, oh, this is gonna get some clicks, and
Yeah.
I think I got like 300 views on it or something.
Yeah.
It's like
I love it.
nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Oh, dude, yeah,
Yeah,
whitetail, especially in BC. I just like I said, like I've said this for a while. Like, dude, I didn't even really know that like people cared about whitetail hunting in BC till I met you guys.
yeah,
Like I was
yeah,
like, oh, I didn't really know that it was a huge thing. And obviously people love it, right? Like
yeah,
people devote a lot of stuff to it. But I think even with kind of like you guys too and the approach too, it's like it is kind of a once you've done everything else end of
yeah.
the season kind of effort too, right? Okay, snow starts to fly. It's like maybe like November, December. Like, okay, now we're like really starting to put in some time for whitetails, right? So, but it's a
Yeah,
lot of fun. I hope that those films get more clicks though. Like, hey,
yeah,
if people want
yeah,
to watch it. So, I thought it
yeah.
was a fun film. Yeah, it's a doe, but it's meat in the freezer.
Yeah, exactly, and just showing the process and stuff too is good, but it was cool to see. Zach was sending us little updates as he was editing it and, like, "What do you guys think? What do you guys think?" And then he trimmed it down a bit, and I think that was good, so it was cool. You guys did a great job.
Oh, thanks, man. Like I said, that was all Zach. So, but thanks again for letting us follow you guys around with a camera and doing the whole thing. And dude,
Yeah,
excited. We got a lot more hunts kind of with you guys planned this next year. So,
mhm.
for all
Yeah,
those listeners out there, check out Last Chance Whitetail on the new Fargone Outfitters YouTube channel and subscribe because there's a lot of films coming out in the
yeah.
next couple months. I think we have a spring bear one dropping in like a couple weeks and then all that stuff too.
Oh,
So,
nice. That'll be
yeah,
sick. I'm getting fired up for bear too. We're getting close here. What do we got? Like 10 more days. We
I
can head
know.
out, and we've had a pretty mild winter too. So even locally around here, I'll be able to get out and look for bears.
Heck yeah.
I'm sure most of them didn't even go to sleep around here. So, it's
It's
it'll be good. I think it'll be a good spring bear season for sure. What do
definitely.
you got? What do you got planned for spring bear? Anything?
Oh, I don't have like, I have a lot of questions right now, like
Okay.
questionables. Like maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. I know like we want to recreate that sailing trip that we did last year. That was just such a blast and a great group of guys. I know that we chatted about maybe getting out with you guys a little bit. So
Yep.
honestly, I don't have any plans like set in stone. It's been last year was my first year doing anything on the coast that
Mhm.
and I kinda always was like, "No, it's like a great time." I always viewed spring bear as like, I'm gonna scout spots for deer, and, like, if there's a bear there, that's kind of the excuse to get out, and, like, typically try to, like, get out for a hike, but the coastal thing last year, dude, was so much fun. Like, I'm like, there's a reason, like, why I get people do this every single year. And also too, like we had no issues with the meat. Like the meat was perfect for us. Like
Yeah.
we had no worms, nothing like questionable by any means. And it's like I was stoked. Like I was fired up, dude. Like, I ended up
Yeah.
arrowing one, like, it was a great time. So I'm like, "Dude, like, I kinda wanna do this again." So definitely gonna do something at the coast, whether it's maybe hopping out with you guys if that invite's still over there, or maybe, like, jumping back on the sailboat, doing that kinda thing too, but we really don't have, like, a set in stone plan by any means at this time of the year, which I should probably change, but
Yeah. Yeah, definitely the invite's still open. I might have lost my access to a jet boat for this year, so I might
oh,
just be
shoot.
doing it. Yeah, I might just be doing it in my little striker. I got like a
Yeah,
12-foot striker, and
sweet.
I'll take that out and still run the shorelines and stuff.
Yeah,
Still do some fishing. I think the fishing is because I'm not a big fisherman. I'm not that into
yeah,
it. I go fly fishing in the
yeah,
spring a little bit, like on lakes and stuff, but
yeah,
not that much. I don't even know what half the most of the flies are called. But
yeah,
and then the only other time I really look forward to fishing is on the ocean. So
yeah.
it's that's a big part of it. Just sleeping in, fishing, glassing for bears. Yeah.
That's the best
It's
part about it, dude, like,
dude.
and same for me, like, I love spearfishing. It's, like, my favorite
Yeah.
thing, especially when we live close to the ocean. It's, like, almost every weekend, we would try to go out, and, like, my buddy had a jet ski, and we'd just, like, rip across the strait and just, like, head out
Yeah.
spearing and stuff like that, which is a great time, but it's, like, I rarely do it now living in Chilliwack because 'cause I'm an hour away from the ocean.
Yeah.
So it's, like, that opportunity with Spring Bear where it's, like, okay, same program, sleep in, like, do the whole thing, make a nice breakfast, have a nice little coffee. Then for me, like, head out for a dive in the morning, and then, like, afternoon, be like, "Oh, you know what? Maybe go after some bears here, go see if there's anything kicking around," and then
Yeah.
obviously take the bow for a little walk, right? So it's a special thing, dude. I think if anyone hasn't experienced the coastal bear thing yet, like, you really should, because it is a
Yeah.
blast.
Yeah, I've missed the last 2 years doing it. We haven't been able to go, just mainly
Mhm.
because the other guys and timing and work and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So I told everyone, I said, "I'm going regardless this year,
yeah.
even if it's just by myself, like, I'm
Yeah,
going." So,
exactly.
I'm definitely gonna make a trip to the island, and then my other plan is I like, obviously, like, the difficulty level of stalking a bear with your bow, either on logging roads or pipelines or whatever, or the shoreline
Yeah,
of the ocean is not that it's not that difficult.
yeah.
So, I've shot a lot of bears and most of them with the bow, so I've been kinda toying around with the idea of doing later in the season, doing more of a, like, a backcountry rifle bear
Mhm.
hunt,
Yeah,
but I'm not totally sure yet. I might do that and group it in with some scouting, like you said, for deer
yeah,
and go do that, maybe shoot, like, I don't know, it depends on
yeah.
the snow, how much snow is melted, but I'd
Mhm.
like to do a backpack trip. I've been kind of I don't know, I haven't been on a backpack hunt in probably 4 years,
What do
and
you
I need
mean?
yeah,
That's
well,
wild.
like, yeah, like, most of the hunting we've been doing lately, at least for me, is just we have our spots.
Whitetails.
We know where yeah, well, even for elk, we move around so much for elk, and we go like, we have 20 plus kilometer days hunting
Yeah,
elk, but, like, we're back at camp at night because 'cause we're
exactly.
deciding whether we're going to a different area or not, and then
Yeah,
yeah, and mule deer, I've only been really doing day hunts for the last couple years, so it's
yeah,
and truck camping and stuff, so I really wanna get back into the backpack stuff, like,
yeah.
I'm excited about that. I wanna get a new tent and try out some stuff, so,
Heck yeah.
yeah.
Dude, well, yeah, I feel like we're flip-flopping, man. I feel like I'm, like, opposite. I feel like we've only been especially for bears, like, only been backpack stuff.
Yeah.
So now, like, getting into, like I said last year, doing the coast thing, I'm like, "This is kinda nice, dude."
Yeah.
It's a different
Yeah.
game, so and,
Yeah.
hey, man, if you're looking at new tents, dude, we got all that Argali stuff in stock in the
That's
store, so
that's what's on my radar is the Argali, the
yeah,
two-person one, maybe even
or the
that,
Rincon.
that Dyneema one. I can't remember what
Oh,
it's
yeah,
called, but,
yeah,
I mean, it's pretty expensive, but that thing, that looks sweet, and, I kinda like that teepee style sorta
mm,
tent, you know? Like,
yeah,
I've got a Kuiu, I think it's called the Mountain Star,
okay,
and it's nice because it's, like, freestanding,
yeah,
and it's fairly light. I think it's, like, 3.5 pounds, but,
yeah,
it'd be cool to try something different and, yeah,
there you
get all
go.
geared up. I got everything else, but yeah,
Yeah,
I miss it. I miss being out there and, even up
yeah,
high, up on the mountains and camping and
yeah,
stuff. It's a lot of fun. And I feel like it can cut down on the amount of hiking you do. Sometimes it doesn't, but
I
but
know.
it's nice to wake up and be hunting, so
Exactly.
yeah,
Like, you're just sitting there and you just grab the glass and, like, go across the hillside or maybe hike a little bit to your glassing knob or whatever like that, right? So,
yeah,
yeah, it's pretty special, man. It's pretty special. So, yeah, you should definitely make a point to do that.
yeah,
Who knows?
yeah.
We might join you on that one too. Sounds like a blast.
And we're back.
We're back, dude.
Ah. But yeah,
Wow.
no, I was
So,
saying just spring bear, mainly just getting the bow dialed in. And
yeah.
last year I did a bunch of recurve shooting before the trip
Hmm.
and shot a bear
Because
with
you
my
got a bear with the
recurve.
recurve last year too, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, that was really
Yeah.
fun. That was really good. It's like because I don't backcountry bear hunt, I wanted to like up the challenge a little bit. And I'd
Yeah.
shot a whitetail with my recurve a long time ago. And I was like, hey,
Yeah.
I gotta get a bear with a recurve. And now
Mm.
I think that might be what I hunt with, on the island there, but we'll
Really?
see. We'll see.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
the recruit game just seems like a whole 'nother beast. I think it's just more that I'm like, I really love shooting my compound bow,
Yeah.
and then adding another thing into that just seems like, okay, same thing. It's like I got a wife and kiddo and stuff like this. I'm like, do I
Yeah.
need another activity? And if it although it still is archery, it
Yeah.
feels like another level of like or a new activity or all this
Yeah,
stuff,
it
right?
doesn't
So
like, the 2 don't cross over hardly at all.
exactly.
Like, there's
Yeah.
no similarities in the sense
Yeah.
of, like, shooting process and how you
Yeah.
aim and all that, and it's a
Exactly.
whole 'nother rabbit hole, and yeah, I've had one forever, and I always dabble with it here and there, but every year spring bear comes around, I toy with the idea, and last year finally just like screw it. I shot one with the compound on day one, and then I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I got another tag, so when it's my turn again, I'll bust out the recurve, and I was shooting it pretty
Yeah.
good too, so I was like pretty confident. There's
Yeah.
under 30 yards, I shot my bear at 24 yards, and that's kind of like
Mhm.
you pretty much have to get that close unless you're
Yeah.
like a guy that only hunts with a recurve and can dial.
Yeah.
And even those guys, they still want to get super close. So
Oh, yeah. I think it's
yeah,
like anything like archery. It's like the closer you are, the better, right? So,
absolutely.
but at the
Yeah,
same time, then it's always that little gamble where it's like you want to get close, but you also don't want to get too close where you're spooking something either, right? So
yeah, yeah. And that's what's
contemplating
nice.
those shots.
That's what's nice about bears. Like if your scent isn't blowing at them, like you can get pretty close,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
especially
Big
when they're feeding on grass and stuff, or on in the case of the island out on the shorelines, like, and the
yeah.
water noise really masks your stalking
Yeah.
sounds. So
Oh dude, I
I've had
know.
to get in the water before too, and like I
Really.
shot a bear standing in the water, so that was
Yeah.
kind of cool.
That's hilarious,
Yeah,
dude. I know. Yeah, with my archery bear last year, it was like he was just chomping on some barnacles, just like right on the side, just like rubbing his face up and down. And I had like literally the river that comes down and then the ocean. And I'm like standing on like maybe an inch from kind of like the tide line type of thing. And I could have sat there for, I swear, 2 hours. Like the thing just like had no idea. And it's
yeah,
exactly that reason. It's like you have the river coming down, and then you also have like the ocean noise just like popping up against it. And
yeah,
then obviously great wind and stuff. And I'm like, dude, you could just straight up sit there for 2 hours.
yeah.
Like, not
It's
a worry in the world.
it's fun too sometimes on the island, like, on the shoreline, like, you can be stalking in on a bear, and
Yeah.
another bear will come out of that dark timber, like, in between you and the other bear, or, like or you'll get up to where you wanna take a shot, and you look a little further and like, "Oh, there's another one,"
Yeah.
like, there it's so fun though. Yeah,
Oh,
it's a
it's
good
such
time.
a blast, man. Well,
Yeah.
frick, dude, I love it. So, do you know, are we going to see that recurve out at the Canadian Archery Challenge this year or what?
Oh, probably not, no. A guy I met last year, um Michael Hale, I think his name
Okay.
is? Yeah.
Yeah.
He had his recurve, he was with the Come Out Heavy boys, and
Oh, yeah.
he was having a good time. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'll bring it and play around with it, but I'm not gonna do the
Run the
course
whole
with it.
course with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another level, man. Like, even just taking kind of some of those longer shots, and I think also too, just, like, being confident with the amount of arrows that you're definitely gonna lose is a
Yeah.
hard one.
Yep. Yeah, I got lucky last year, I think I just broke one, so that
Oh,
was
heck yeah.
nice. Yeah,
Dude, that's a great way to do it.
I was pretty happy with that. I think, and looking back on some of the footage that we took with our cell phones, like, I had a little bit of fletching contact on my wrist, and
Oh,
my
really?
arrow, when it would leave, it would kind of like tail left a little bit.
Yeah.
So my bow wasn't completely dialed in before that, and I hadn't really been shooting a ton.
Yeah.
But yeah, this year it'll be fun. So it's just such a
Oh,
good time. That whole weekend is so fun. Just mainly just hanging out with everybody was sweet.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a blast, man. We're excited. We're gonna do it a lot better than last year too. Like, kind
Yeah.
of bring in like a little bit of like we're gonna have like obviously Fargon will be up there, but I think like Keys make saying that they might head on out there, have like a couple machines and stuff too, for
Nice.
people. So it'll be like a blast. Like trying to bring a little bit more of that like kind of trade show esque vibe.
Yeah.
And also too, last year was us just like figuring out how to run an event. So this year
Yeah.
it's like, hey, like we have one under our belt. Like let's kind of like finish things off and kind of go from there too, right? So,
Yeah. Well, when I was in Tai archery there picking up my bow, and he was
yeah,
asking about it because I brought it up, and I said,
yeah,
"Dude, you gotta make time for it. You gotta go. It's so fun."
heck yeah. Oh,
The
dude.
the target archery world is like a whole nother thing. Those guys are a little more like I didn't even keep score when we went.
Oh,
We
yeah.
just we
We
just
didn't
shot the
even have I
course.
don't even think we had cards to keep score.
You guys did. You
Oh,
had
did we? Yeah.
cards, but I didn't hear anyone talking about score. And I don't
Oh,
even
yeah.
think what was written out on the scorecard was like what the scoring actually is.
Yeah.
And then
Definitely
when
not.
you have different targets that have different rings on them, like some of them
Yeah.
had two different sets
Oh, yeah.
of scoring rings, and it was like, I don't know. I think I was
Yeah.
aiming at that one. But
I
yeah.
always just do it with the buddies to be like, hey, we all agree on shot placement, but it's like, hey, 3 points if it's in the kill zone, like, and
Yeah.
like 0 points if not, type of thing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
-5 points if you just completely miss the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be fun, dude. It's gonna be good. I've been trying to spread the word a little bit when I talk to people and like
heck yeah.
tell like you got to make time for it. And I think it's
Yeah.
filling up pretty quick too, isn't it?
Dude, we're already, I think, like 80 or probably even more, like 80 or 90% sold out
Nice,
on it. And it's like,
nice.
and we haven't really marketed it much. Like we haven't done any
No,
ads or anything like that. Like we're just
yeah,
kind of like, okay, hey, like if you know about it and you want, like come and fill it up. And like I said, we're pretty much there. And then kind of after the fact, we'll see what happens. So,
yeah. See if there's
but
space.
it's gonna sell out. Like as soon, like even if it will sell out. So if you are thinking about it, definitely, if you haven't signed up yet, sign up.
Yeah, yeah. I was supposed to last week and I forgot. And Cole texted me. He's like, "Do you want me to do it?" I'm like, "Yeah, just do it because I'll
Yeah.
forget." So I think we booked 4 spots for both days. We don't have. It's for sure me and Cole, and then my
Sweet.
brother might come out, and then maybe
Cool.
Dave and Danny. But we'll
Heck
see.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know, dude. I know Dave's blowing up my phone right now, man. So
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
get that guy out there to start flinging up the freaking arrows.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just enjoy the process of getting the bow ready and,
Yeah.
staying throughout the year, staying, like, comfortable with my bow. I hate that feeling when you go on a hunt and you're like, "Shoot, I've barely
Yeah.
shot my bow," and I like, I keep my bow in tune, but, like, my shooting form and
Yeah.
stuff, like, you gotta
It
keep the
changes.
reps up. You gotta keep the
Yeah.
reps up to get that comfortability, so
Exactly. Well, I think so much of it's like both muscle memory, but then also muscle strength. Especially if you
yeah,
are like shooting like an 80 pound or in your case, a 90 pound bow. It's like,
yeah,
dude, like that's hard to pull back,
yeah,
especially if you haven't shot your bow in 6 months. Like
yeah,
that's just straight up not happening. And then to do that and feel comfortable holding while you're like actually about to like let one fly on a critter is pretty wild.
yeah,
So, yeah, you gotta
yeah,
keep up with it, and it's also, like, a respect thing too, dude. It's like, hey, like, I don't know. I always think about 'em, like, if you're gonna shoot with a bow and you're gonna do the thing, like, respect the animal enough to keep
mhm.
up with being consistent with it and making sure that you're making that the best shot possible, right? So,
Yeah, I think about that sometimes too. Guys with rifles, they'll be really diligent with their rifles, and I'm sure
yeah,
there's guys that like casually bow hunt. Like they
yeah,
only hunt with a bow during the first 9 days of the season, maybe
yeah,
the last 9 days of some seasons here. but it's like it's kind of the same thing. If you're gonna work on your gun and keep shooting and keep your skills up, like it's
Yeah.
you kind of got to know where you're at with your bow. Like to just pick it up and go is kind of a gamble. So you
It's a big
definitely,
time gamble, dude. It's a
yeah.
big time gamble. So it's
But
like how to like we get more people to kind of do it. And that's why the Canadian Archery Challenge is a great way to do it.
yeah, yeah, I just wish that BC would implement some more bow seasons or longer bow
Yeah.
seasons, and I think it would drive up sales of bows, and it would get guys more interested in it and paying more attention to how their bow shooting.
It 100% would. Like, I don't know if there is incentive. Like, obviously, there's certain LEH stuff and like different things like this, but it's pretty minimal.
Yeah.
And like a little bit of a like an earlier season, all that stuff. But there really isn't a crazy amount of incentive in British Columbia beyond personal incentive.
Mhm.
Where
Yeah,
it's like, I think like, hey, I get a lot of pride from letting an arrow fly and being able to like fill the freezer that way. Like I love that. And I also I've never been a huge gun person. Like I've
yeah,
never enjoyed going out and shooting, but I love shooting my bow. But
yeah,
it's like, and then there's also kind of that pride thing too, where it's like, oh, you took a deer or whatever. Did you do it with the rifle or did you do it with the bow? Like you get a little bit of extra pride saying
yeah,
like, yeah, you know what? That blacktail last year was taken with the bow. That felt good. Right.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I think that's kind of where most of the BC incentive is. Like I said, there are other things, but yeah, it'd be interesting if the government starts adding some different stuff and then it would only add to the culture, right? Like I know a
yeah,
lot of guys in Ontario and stuff that bow culture is so much more prevalent out there. And it's because of
yeah.
the different seasons and stuff like that too, right? So call me out if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure their seasons are pretty drastically different when it
Yeah,
comes to archery.
I think in Ontario, I've got some friends out there from racing that they do a little bit of hunting, but there
Yeah.
is like I'm pretty sure there's like rifle season and bow season that
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
pretty long and separate. So yeah,
Exactly, which
yeah,
is the reason why in the States too, right? Like the States, like that's even why muzzle loader is such a big thing still, is because of
yeah,
the seasons and people wanting to do that and be able to capitalize on kind of each season, right? So
yeah.
it's a good
When
one.
I talk to guys in the States and they find out that in BC you can hunt elk with a rifle in
Yeah,
September, they're like,
yeah,
"What? That's
yeah,
crazy." I mean, and it's
exactly.
still hard with a
Yeah,
rifle, like it's still really hard. So
yeah, 100%.
I didn't shoot an elk last year, and I hunted with a
Yeah.
rifle a little bit, so
Yeah, there you go, there you
yeah.
go. So, yeah, wild, man, wild. Well, Trevor, dude, it's always great catching up, man. I'm
Yeah,
excited to see you out at the archery challenge here, and like I said, cool to just hear a little bit about, like I said, even the new bow and stuff like that too. So, you know me, I
yeah,
love chatting archery, even if I don't really know what I'm talking about when it comes to all the technical specs. I
yeah,
enjoy it, and I love
yeah,
chatting
but
about it.
you're getting there, you're getting there. I'm sure one day you'll have a bow press or something and be doing a
Yeah.
little more tinkering and stuff?
That's gonna be a slippery slope, dude, if I start
Yeah.
getting a bow press in here and then everything starts going down. Like I said, I'm already thankful enough for those little, like, whatever that system's called or whatever in the Matthews, but, yeah, yeah, that's gonna be a slippery slope.
It's good. It's a good rabbit hole to go down, so
Well, heck yeah,
it's
dude.
pretty sweet.
I love it. Well, as always, definitely check out Trevor on all the Westwood stuff, everything along those lines, the Rippin' podcast, obviously YouTube and everything like that too. And also check out that new Last Chance film on the Fargone YouTube channel and be sure to subscribe because we got a lot more stuff happening with Trevor
Yeah,
and couple
I'm
this year too.
I'm really excited to do some more stuff and not I'm really excited to not have to worry about trying to film it myself. Even though
Yeah.
I just do it for fun when I film, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be nice having somebody else worry about that and I can just hunt. So
Exactly. You can
yeah.
just do your thing and just let the camera guy deal with it all.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah.
good. Awesome, man. Hey, well, great chatting and we'll connect soon.